Hello friends, in this video we are going to see how Michael Adams punished his opponent's lack of development. This game is played in the London Chess Classics 2010 where Carlsen finished first and Anand came second. So if you like this video, kindly press like button and also subscribe button. So Adams opened with e4, for which Howell replied with e5, n f3, nc6, bb5, a rail pass opening. Howell played n f6, castling, knight into e4, Berlin variation of the rail pass. So after knight into e4, Adams played d4, bishop to e7, queen e2, knight d6, bishop into c6, b into c6, d into e5, knight to b7. So after knight to b7, white played c4. Black played here castles, for which white replied with nc3, f6. Black should prefer here to complete his development instead of opening his king side. White played rook to e1. Black played f into e5, queen into e5, bishop f6, queen to g3, knight to c5. So black wants to play knight d3. White allows this move and played bishop g5, knight to d3, attacking the rook and also b2 pawn. Now rook to e3. Development with tempo. The rook on the third rank gives additional support to the attack. Rook e2 supports the b2 pawn but allows black to develop his pieces. So after rook e3, black played knight into b2. So after knight into b2, white develops his other rook to e1 and completes his development, whereas black is lagging behind in his development. Here black should continue his development with bishop a6, but he preferred to exchange the bishop into g5. Even n into c4 is not good here, as white can play rook to e7, and if bishop into e7, then rook into e7 gives him a winning advantage. But black preferred in this position to exchange the black bishop on g5. This helps white to develop a strong attack on the king side. So after bishop into g5, knight into g5, black played queen to f6. Actually black wants to bring his queen to the scene of action, but after rook to f3, black felt that the first rank has to be guarded, so he retreats to d8. If he plays queen to d6, then white can play queen to h4, threatening mate in 1 on h7, queen into h7. So after h6, then knight to f7 wins. If he plays rook into f7, then rook e8, check wins immediately, or if you prefer to play queen to g6 supporting the h7 pawn, then white can play rook into f8 check, king into f8, knight into h7 check, king g8, queen into d8, king into h7, rook e4, threatening rook h4, wins the game easily. So after knight to f7, if he plays now queen g6, then knight into h6 check wins. If g into h6, rook g3 pins the queen and wins the game. If he plays queen into h6 instead of g into h6, then white can play rook into f8 check, king into f8, queen d8 check, king f7, queen e8 check, king f6, knight e4 check, king to f5, knight g3 check, king to f6, queen f8 check, king g5, queen f8 check, king h4, rook e4 check, and then mate. So black preferred to retreat to queen d8, after which white came up with knight c e4, the last piece to come to the king side. Black replied with bishop a6. White played knight into h7, answer to the slow development of black. So after knight into h7, black played rook into f3. But white has an easy win if he plays king into h7 immediately. So after king into h7, white can play knight g5 check, king g8, rook into rook check, queen into f8, queen to h3, threatening queen h7 check, easily wins the game for white. But for rook into f8, if black prefers to take with the king, then queen to f3 check. If black plays queen to f6, then nh7 check wins the queen. But if the king moves to g8, then queen f7 check, king h8, queen h5 check, king g8, queen h7 check, king f8, queen h8 is mate. So he cannot play king into h7 immediately. So he played rook into f3. So after rook into f3, white played g into f3. Now comes king into h7, and g5 check, king g8, queen h4, again threatening queen h7 check. Now white has 3 pieces attacking the king, while black has none on the king side. So white is having a clear winning attack on the king side. Now black played bishop into c4, queen h7 check, king f8, rook to e5, threatening rook f5 check. So black covered that f5 square with bishop e6. Instead of bishop e6, if black prefer to play queen to f6, then queen h8 check, bishop to g8, knight h7, force the queen. So after king into f7, knight into queen, king into knight f4, wins easily for white. So after bishop e6, white played queen to h8 check, For queen to h8 check, black is forced to play king to e7. Here also, if black plays bishop to g8, then rook to f5 check, king to e7, queen into g7 check, king d6, queen e5 is mate. So black played king to e7 for queen h8 check. Now queen into g7 check, king d6, n e4 is mate here. If he plays for queen g7 check, king to e8, then queen f7 is mate here because the bishop is pinned. Thank you for watching.